something so insane at Thanksgiving that even the police didn't know what to charge him with. For the first time in my 28 years, I was hosting Thanksgiving dinner. My apartment was tiny, but I'd spent 3 days preparing everything exactly how Grandma used to make it before she passed the month before. The turkey was golden, the stuffing smelled like sage and butter, and 14 family members were crammed around my extended dining table and overflow card table I'd borrowed from my neighbor. Everyone kept saying how proud Grandma would have been to see me carrying on her recipes. My cousin Parker had even shown up early to help, which shocked everyone since he usually rolled in halfway through dinner. He'd been weirdly insistent about helping with the stuffing, saying he wanted to honor Grandma's memory by making her famous recipe perfectly. I was grateful for the help and let him handle it while I managed the rest of the meal. We were 20 minutes into dinner when Parker started choking dramatically. He spit stuffing onto his plate and picked through it with his fork. "What the hell is this?" he said, holding up something gray and gritty between his fingers. His face went white as he examined it closer. "Oh my god, where's Grandma's urn?" He bolted to the kitchen where we'd moved the urn to make space for guests, and came back holding it upside down, shaking it violently. "Empty. There's residue in the stuffing bowl. Someone put Grandma in the stuffing. We're eating Grandma." My uncle projectile vomited turkey and stuffing across the white tablecloth. My aunt started screaming like she'd seen a murder. My teenage cousins ran to the bathroom gagging and retching. My mother stood up so fast her chair crashed backward into the wall. "What did you do?" she screamed at me, her fingers shaking as she pointed. "What is wrong with you?" I stood frozen, my mouth hanging open, unable to form words while Parker built his case. "She made the stuffing. She was the only one who touched it after I left." My sister joined in, tears streaming down her face. She was alone in the kitchen all morning. "Oh my god, we ate our grandmother." The room erupted into complete chaos with everyone screaming at once. My dad was trying to calm everyone down while my aunt called poison control. My brother-in-law was Googling whether consuming human ashes was fatal. Multiple family members were dry heaving into napkins. "You're sick," my uncle shouted between retches. "This is assault. This is a crime." I kept trying to explain that Parker had helped with the stuffing, but nobody was listening over the screaming and crying and sounds of people being sick. Parker stood in the center of it all, shaking his head with perfectly crafted disgust. "I can't believe you'd desecrate Grandma like this. She loved you so much. She'd be heartbroken." That's when Parker's girlfriend Kelsey started laughing. Not a nervous laugh, but a full drunken cackle. She'd been pounding wine since noon and her face was flushed bright red. "Oh my god," she slurred, pointing at Parker. "You actually did it. I didn't think you were serious, but you actually did it." The room went silent except for my aunt's dry heaving. Parker's face changed immediately. "Kelsey, you're drunk. Stop talking." But she was already going, waving her wine glass around. He kept talking about that stupid will thing, the final meal thing. He said he figured out what it really meant. My dad stepped forward. "What will thing?" Kelsey laughed harder. "The part where Grandma said whoever hosted her final meal gets the house." Parker said if he put her in the stuffing here and was the one to make it, technically he'd be hosting her final meal. Like literally, her final meal. She made air quotes and nearly fell off her chair. Parker grabbed her arm. "That's insane. You're wasted. Nobody believes this." But my mom had already pulled up the will on her phone. "Whoever hosts my final meal shall inherit the property on Maple Street," she read slowly. "We all thought it meant whoever had her over for dinner last before she died. That was literally you, Parker. You had dinner with her the night before she went into the hospital." Parker's face went from red to purple. "That's not what she meant. She meant something more significant. The house is worth $800,000. You all got jewelry and cash and I got nothing. So yeah, I fixed it. I made it right. The meal wasn't technically over if she was still being eaten. I was going to save Thanksgiving at my place and then technically." He stopped, his face going pale as the realization hit him. My mother looked at him with disgust. "You already had the house, you idiot. You just lost it." He stopped, realizing he'd just confessed to putting his grandmother's cremated remains in the turkey stuffing that 14 people had been eating for 20 minutes. My family sat frozen, processing what had just happened. Parker tried to bolt, but my brother-in-law blocked him until the police arrived, who took him away screaming about technicalities while Kelsey puked wine on my carpet. The house went to my mother to sell and split among the grandchildren except Parker, who was excluded from the will for dishonoring Grandma's memory. I guess Grandma wasn't exactly a fan of being eaten.